Good morning students. In previous video we discussed about taxonomical aids, is it right? So, there are many taxonomical tools or utilities which we have discussed. So, in previous video there are two taxonomical aids we discussed, that is first one is herbarium and second one is botanical gardens. Okay. So, as you know, herbarium is related to plants. Okay. Next, botanical gardens is also related to plants. See, the next concept is about museum. Okay. Usually museum, when you consider museum, nowadays it is a in all field museum is there. Even in engineering, there is a Visvesvaraya museum in Bangalore. So, as you know, so there are even different, not only what we are discussing here, okay, that means biological museum. We must consider here in biology, biological museum. Biological museum, we can refer it as, instead of museum, biological museum we can say. See, the biological museum means it is related to both plants as well as animals, animal species, understood. So, any organism or usually the what you call animal and plant, okay, either whole or part of the plant or part of the animal, understood. So, any parts or we can preserve it. Okay. Let us see what is, how it helps and what is the use of this museum. See, the biological museum is a place, biological museum is a place where collection of preserved plant and animal specimens. That means museum is related to both plants and animals, not only the one group. Okay, it is related to both plants and animals. See here, collection of preserved plant and animal specimens, what you call, both plant as well as animal specimens, for which purpose? Study and reference, what you call, educational purpose we can say. You can see here, educational purpose. So, usually the institutes, educational institutes, what you call, educational institutes are maintaining their own museum, biological museum. Usually we also have the biological museum in laboratory, biology laboratory. Okay. See here, it should be preserved, what you call, collection of preserved plant and animal specimens for study and reference purpose. Even we can refer it as for the studies. Okay. So, next, the specimens are preserved. How it should be preserved? See, the specimens are preserved, it should not be decayed for many years. Okay. So, it should not be get decayed. See, for example, usually what preservation means, it should be a dead condition, not in live. See, it is a dead, what do you call, dead plant or dead animal, or a part of plant, part of animal is preserved here. How it should be preserved? That means stored. See, there is some preservatives are there. Okay, especially the formalin. So, preservative solutions we called, that preservative solution. See, this is the preservative solution, formalin we can say. Formalin, it is a transparent liquid which is not allowed to decay that preserved specimen. Preserved specimen is not decayed, understood. So, that is why the preservatives means preservative solution are used in to store this animals or plants. That is what the second line you should remember this. Specimens are preserved in glass containers, very important, glass containers or jars, maybe transparent other material may also used nowadays, but usually the transparent containers should be used. Transparent containers or jars are used. So, I will show you the one of the specimen here. See, you can observe this specimen. So, it is a here it is labeled as a firm. Here it is labeled as a firm. Here one part, whole plant cannot be mounted here. So, this solution is there, no, the liquid is there inside. So, this is called formalin. It is not water, you remember, it appears like a water, but it is a, yes, formalin. What you called? That is a formalin. Understood? Formalin is used in this jar. And next, this is there is a inside a glass piece is there. Above that glass piece there is a one leaf, not complete leaf, the part of leaf is stored here. So, we can observe that, and the leaf is become the what you call colorless here. Even that was green when we are collected, it was green, but after some times due to formalin, so it may get colorless, decolorized. Sometimes the plant specimens may become decolorized. Understood? So, this is the plant specimen as a form. Okay, this is glass jar is there, no, cylindrical glass jar, and outside transparent glass jar is required, and inside there is a formalin. Okay. Next, one more I will show you the animal. For animal starfish is here. You can observe it, starfish it is. See, this is the jar which is containing starfish and which is stored in formalin. So, this is called a specimen. This one is called specimen. Such many specimens as for the classification, plant specimens and yes, animal specimens are stored in a glass cupboards. So, that is what we call museum. So, which is the small museum can be maintained by every even schools and colleges. Okay. So, even in case of universities there may be a big museums. Understood? See, that is, you remember formalin is used here, formalin is used. And next, the specimens may also preserved as dry, very important. The specimens can be preserved as dry conditions. So, usually all animals, fleshy animals, we can't what we could do in dry conditions. Usually the maximum animals are stored in formalin. Okay. So, which are stored in formalin, it is not in dry condition, but some specimens, some either animal or plant may be stored in as a dry specimen, dry condition, which is dried. Okay. See, usually insects can be done. Examples you can take insects. See, insects are, they have no so much fleshy body. Okay. So, usually sticky insects are there, no? And that can be dried. So, first collecting, killing and pinning. So, you might seen that usually in some museums there is a small board is made for that and glass is there above this, and there are the insects are sticked here. Okay. So, which are pinned, insects are pinned here. Understood? Different kinds of insects are pinned over that. So, by that we can observe the different kinds of insects. Okay. So, in the museum, okay, they are not decayed. Understood? So, maybe disinfectants. So, like such things are maybe sprayed over that insects. Okay. Next, the birds and mammals may also collected and which are stuffed and preserved in dry conditions. Okay. So, usually bird feathers are not decayed. As you know, bird feathers are not decayed, and inside the body whatever content, the organ, all that fleshy things is there, no, that is removed, that is stuffing. Okay. Stuffed we can say, that is removing and that will be preserved. Okay, by putting the cotton or any non-decaying things inside, and which is kept as a dry, even in case of mammals also. okay, either bat or any animals, rat, rabbit, like, okay. Birds and mammals are also can be preserved as a dry specimens. So if it is large animals which are stuffed and preserved, okay. Next, museum may also have the skeleton systems of animals, understood. So the collection of skeletons of animals is also one of the important role of a museum, because the skeleton system can be studied. Different animal skeleton systems may be also there in a museum, okay. Next, museums, you may be observed the examples of museums in every colleges they are maintaining. So that is a museum, okay. If you visited Manipal University, so usually medical colleges they are maintaining their own museum, like pathology museum or anatomy museum, like, okay, understood. So such one big museum is also there in the Manipal University, you can see that, okay. So next one we will discuss in the next concept. The next one is zoological park. You can see here, museum we discussed. So usually in museum dead animals are preserved, understood, the collected which are dead in condition, so that are preserved. But in zoological parks it is related to completely usually animals, okay. So zoological parks means here commonly called as zoos. These are also called as zoo, okay. So as you know, zoological parks are sometimes we also called zoological gardens. Zoological garden, we also referred it as a zoological garden, commonly called as zoo, okay. See, these are the places, these are the zoological parks or zoos are the places where wild animals are kept in protected environment, very important, protected environment. The wild animals are protected under the natural environment, okay, protected environment under human care, very important, under human care. This helps us for study and even research, okay. So mainly we can observe here the natural behavior of that animal, behavior. Here mainly zoological park give us the important educational study. So along with that, so we can observe the natural behavior of that animal, understood. Natural behavior can be studied, and also food habit of that animal also observed, understood. Food habit, and mainly food habit here, food habit helps us, food habit and what you call the behavior of animals, these are studied, okay. So it is a place where wild animals are kept in a protected area or environment under human care. Human care means it's it's not naturally as a forest or this thing, so it's a man made, okay. So that's why human care is important here, okay. So human care means here human workers are there in that park, and they are providing the food, they are providing the food for that animals, understood, okay. And even they providing the food, water, and the environment also, they are making the such environment, the originally animal where it was, such environment is made for that particular animal. Next, the natural conditions are provided here which are similar to their natural habitat. See, natural habitat means, for example, wild animals are there in the different forest areas. Forests, they are found in forests. Okay. See, habitat means original place where it was. Okay. So, the Avasasthana in Kannada we call, okay, habitat. Next, here animals are allowed to breed. They are allowed to breed means they can reproduce and they continue their progeny in this zoological parks also. Okay. See, major aims of zoological parks are understanding of wildlife, create the interest of public in the wildlife. Okay. So, one should not hunt that animals, that is creating awareness regarding this one, understanding of wildlife. Next, conservation of endangered species. This is very important for the biodiversity, to maintain the biodiversity. Conservation, so we should protect them which are going to endangered. See, endangered means what here? ಅಳಿವಿನ ಅಂಚು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, we call it in Kannada ಅಳಿದು ಹೋಗುವುದು. Okay, endangered species. Okay, they are only few in numbers in a forest, they may going to disappear in the next generations or next in few years. Okay. So, such a species or such animals are protected here and which are allowed to breed, and that should continue their progeny. It can stop the extinction ಅಳಿದು ಹೋಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಂಡೇಂಜರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಂಡೇಂಜರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ is important here, that is one of the aim. Next, educational and research purpose. Educational means study purpose. We can study the animals, their morphology, behavior. Okay, so food habit, such all things can be studied here. Okay. Next, different research purpose also these zoological parks are helpful. And next, finally, entertainment, this is secondary. Okay, so these are the primary aims, we can say. This is secondary aim. Entertainment and tourism is also involved in this one. Okay, so these are the aims of zoological park. And when you talk about the examples, see the world famous zoological parks, the London, what you call London Zoological Garden, even we call it as garden. Sometimes zoological parks are also called zoological garden. Hence London Zoological Garden, London Zoological Garden. So it was established or opened in 1828. So oldest one we can say 1828. So that's why the name is given for this London Zoological Garden, that is zoo. Okay, abbreviation, as the abbreviation of this one is considered as a zoo here. Nowadays commonly we call it as a zoo only. Next, some other examples about world famous San Diego Zoo, California. Example, world famous San Diego, California Zoo, California. And London Zoo, that is in England. Next, other in India also, in India there is one of the important what you call authority is there, that is Central Zoo Authority of India. This is what the Central Zoo Authority of India. So under this there are many examples we can give. Many means this is one of the authority, Central Zoo Authority of India is a central government undertaking. Zoos are there. So in that many examples are there. That is Allen Forest Zoo, Kanpur. Allen Forest Zoo, Kanpur. Allen Forest Zoo, that is in Kanpur. Allen Forest Zoo in Kanpur. And next one, the Jijamata Udyan in Mumbai. Jijamata Udyan in Mumbai, and even in Karnataka also one of the famous zoo, as you know, so that is Mysore Zoo, we commonly called as Mysore Zoo, but the name is Sri Jayachamarajendra Zoological Garden. Sri Jayachamarajendra Zoo, Mysore. It's commonly called as Mysore Zoo. Okay, so these are the examples. Many are there zoo. So we discussed in taxonomical aids about first one, that is herbarium. Next there was a botanical gardens we discussed, and next museum and zoological parks. Next key and other some other taxonomical aids we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.